How do you win when you're down? How do you come back when the opponent is as talented, experienced, and solid a team as you are? You believe. This is the story of a team who was faced with the toughest opponents possible. It's the story of how they overcame them, one by one, with talent, with experience, sure, but above all, with belief. Turkey had a relatively simple path all the way up to the quarterfinals. They faced teams like Greece, Czechia, and Belgium, who, although they did challenge them, were not a real threat. When they arrived at the quarterfinals, however, they faced a team, Poland, who had beaten them in the most recent 4 games. At the VNL, where Poland had won 3-0, and at 2 of the 3 friendly preparation games that these two teams had played against each other this summer. It was a tough game. These teams know each other pretty well. They are pretty well matched. They're both tall teams. And although Turkey had won the VNL, the doubt remained. What if Turkey had faced Poland instead of China in the finals? Or maybe in the quarterfinals? Could Poland have won and snatched the gold themselves? Well, it was time to find out who could hold the pressure better when it really mattered. And it turns out that team, at least this one time, was Turkey. Turkey won with a very clear score of 3-0, but that doesn't mean it was an easy match. Poland has incredible defense. Maria Stenzel, their libero, she picked up a lot of the very high-speed serve from Vargas, but their whole cast are also incredible defenders, and they were able to lengthen a lot of rallies that should have been done there and there with the first spike. And look, I don't want to make this sound like Poland had no attack power of their own. They definitely did. In fact, their attack power and their defense was so good that these teams were head-to-head the whole game. 2 points for one, 2 points for the other. It was not a given that Turkey would win. And I really think I could really see that what propelled Turkey and what Poland was missing was belief. It was hunger for victory. It was not that Poland was really missing anything technical, and they also wanted to win clearly. But just Turkey wanted it so much more. And that was the first step to their first European gold. And here comes the second, the much feared European volleyball powerhouse, Italy, which has produced over the years players that might be on the bench in Italy and would be starters anywhere else in the world. One of many, unfortunately, the great Paola Egonu. Italy came at Turkey with conviction, with belief in themselves, a little belief of their own. Italy came onto the court confident. Now the score for this game is an interesting one, and let's start out with the first set, shall we? Because in the first set, Turkey and Italy were really head-to-head. And then at that point, Italy's coach decided to put on the court one of the best players in the world and maybe not to leave her on the bench. That's a great idea. So Paola Egonu went to serve, and suddenly the score was 17-24. Suddenly, 7 more points were on the board for Italy. And when she wasn't acing, she was placing the ball in very difficult spots. Turkey's team was all of a sudden confused. This is really the psychological side of volleyball. You see teams all of a sudden, like, it seems like they don't really know what's going on, or they're just scraping for getting the ball to the other side. This was Turkey during Egonu's service run. Anna Danesi had 2 blocks in a row, one of them on Vargas, and then suddenly it was 17-24. Finally Egonu missed, but the next point Antropova brought the point home. Now set 2 was a whole different story. It started out with Turkey going up 8-3. Hande Baladun was serving skillfully, putting Italian defense in a difficult situation. Egonu got stepped in, got a point. Sila and Pietrini were doing great. Italy was down 11-5. It managed to come back up all the way to 22-19, but then Egonu went to the service line. We were 23-21. She had 1 ace and 1 overpass that Lubian turned into a point immediately. Then she missed the serve. Match point for Turkey. Edaida missed the serve, and we arrived at the 24-23 point where teams sometimes stretch the set all the way into the 30 points, but Zehra Güneş decided to end the party immediately, and with a monster block, she took the first set home for Turkey. And now we go into the third set. If Turkey had come back to play really strong in the second set, the third set was again psychologically hard for Turkey. Italy brought up their best game of the whole match, and they seemed quite unstoppable. They did stop Turkey to just 15 points, winning solidly, and we go into the fourth set, where, in my opinion, the whole match was decided. Into the fourth set, we get to the end, so we get to the 20s, and the two teams are really, really, really close. 20-20, 21-20, 21-22. And here is where Turkey really pushed, and they turned the match around. Turkey prevailed on the fourth set, and we go into the fifth. I don't need to explain you what happened in the fifth set. Well, maybe I do, because I've never seen something like that happen. Turkey was really riding this wave of emotion, and what I believe happened was they were like, okay, we won the fourth, and now it's ours. We've seen Turkey do this at the Olympic qualifiers in 2020, when they came back in an absurdly difficult fourth set against Poland, and then they won the fifth. But this way, with the Elif Şahin going to the service line at an even score, 5-6, and finishing at 14-5, I've never seen this happen. Basically, the match slipped out of Italy's hand in the blink of an eye, with Turkey spiking, with Zehra Güneş blocking, and Elif Şahin putting them in a difficult situation as a setter, serving. And Italy was out of the match. And I don't know how else to explain this. They were just confused, just like Turkey was at the end of the first set, just like they were in the third set. The thing is, when it mattered the most, Turkey was there with their mind razor sharp, and Italy was not. And this is how you win a game. This is how you win a game against an opponent that is as strong as you, if not more. And now we get to the European finals. Turkey against Serbia. Yes, it is another five-setter, and who is it that comes out on top? It's again Turkey. Again, sheer belief. It's talent. I'm not saying Turkey are not talented, but so is Serbia. They're experienced, but so is Serbia. I could go through this match detail by detail. I could talk about how important the mids were in this game on both sides, about what a great defensive work Gizem Erget did, and how the defense and serve receive on the Serbian side was not always on point, but they're so good at attacking out of system that it almost didn't matter, and they almost won the match anyways. I could talk about how high the emotions were running, or I could just let you see for yourself and look at the fire of this Turkish team. And you don't have to have the same belief that they have. I think for them, this is more than a game. This is more than a sport. It's the symbol for women's strength, independence, freedom. And look, you don't have to agree with them. You don't have to have the same ideals. It's just, if you play any kind of competition and you want to win, find this fire within you, find this fire within your team, and you could go further than you think. Thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.